suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
Hi everybody, this is Angel, streaming live for the Vivar Studios today. Hello, hello, welcome to my channel. This is the Vivar Studios. My name is Angel. If you know anything about me, you probably know that I have two channels. One is the Vivar Studios and the other one is Full Course Yellow. Full Course Yellow is mainly about video games and racing. Sim racing and racing in general, cars, and I've been actually like trying to broadcast different kinds of racing games. But I'm also trying. Hold on, I'm gonna move my microphone a little bit. There you go. But I'm also trying to broadcast a little bit of everything. A little bit. I try to be a little bit. I don't know, like different kind of games. Anyway, but today we're broadcasting live. With Devi Valley Studios, which is very unusual because normally Devi Valley Studios doesn't do these kind of things live. I did it once. No, I didn't do it actually. I was helping somebody else to do it on her channel. A good singer, my good friend Dex Vestro, I believe it is. I'm not really sure right now the name. Her name is Diana, but her artistic name is Dex Vestro. So you can go over there and check her out if you want to on her channel. But today we are broadcasting on the Vivar Studios. It's actually a very special event for me. Mainly, well, hello everybody. This is Angel. It's me. As you can see, I'm actually like I look like the guy from Full Course Yellow. It's because I am the guy from Full Course Yellow. Today we're gonna do something very cool because I haven't done this before ever. This is gonna be my first time, and I don't know exactly how this is gonna go. To tell you the truth, a couple months ago, I got actually my brand new because it also just came out, a brand new Fujifilm X-T2, which is actually right here by my side. This is it. As you can see, you probably saw it because I did an unboxing video of the X-T2 on my channel. I did a nice video. It was actually still getting a lot of views and a lot of likes apparently. So I am actually like, unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to take this camera to put it to a real test. And I took pictures here and there, nothing fancy, nothing too big, nothing spectacular, but just to get familiarized with the camera. So this this past weekend, today is Monday, the 24th of April. So the New York Auto Show just ended up yesterday. The last week, I was actually, last Tuesday, I was heading towards New York to spend the night, and then the next morning, I was going to the New York Auto Show. So that's what I did. I went to the New York Auto Show. So I put this camera actually to the test that day. So today I'm gonna show you what this camera did. I'm gonna give you my first impressions with the camera, and also I'm gonna show you the pictures I took back in New York with the Fujifilm X-T2. Unfortunately, to do this, I don't know any other better way to do it than with. Well, you see now. I will have to do this really quick. So yeah, now you will see actually my Windows screen. So I'm gonna go to Lightroom. I'm gonna show you actually my pictures in Lightroom. I am not sure exactly because I can do this. No, I am not gonna be able. These pictures are already tweaked. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able. Let me see. No, we're not gonna be able to actually I'm not gonna be able to show you how I look before and after. The problem, like, I was actually editing my pictures with that computer over there. That computer, unfortunately, didn't let me actually stream live. It looked like very choppy, very crappy. The problem, I don't know what problem I was having, but you're gonna have to see basically the pictures already edited. and I was trying not to. I was trying to show you actually the before and after, but it's all good. So I'm gonna show you all the pictures that I took at the New York Auto Show, already edited and ready to go. Basically, you're gonna see it firsthand. I didn't put them in on my right on Facebook, on my Facebook page, or on, yeah, what's the name? I forgot. I have another one. It's not Pinterest, it's the other one. I forgot the name. That's what happens when I'm not ready. Flickr. Sorry, I have a Flickr account. Normally all of my pictures are going to Flickr right away. Because I like Flickr. Flickr has actually a nice feel and a nice quality. Actually, I learned that it's actually more interesting since I cannot show you the before and after. We're gonna do this instead. Where is it? Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, there you go. That's it. Sorry, I apologize. Now you're gonna be able to see it on the. There you go. So this is new to me. I was able to synchronize Lightroom. I have to download Lightroom here. Let me check. Let me make sure actually that is actually you see what I see. All right, yeah, okay. So I was able to synchronize both Lightrooms because now it works with an app instead of a program. So I upload them on the cloud, and then well, on the what is it called? Again, I'm not very prepared. Well, anyway, so I was able to actually able to bring the pictures from that computer to this computer through the cloud. So that's all I needed to say. God damn, the Adobe app. There you go, the Adobe app. So I went to the New York Auto Show. I spent basically there all day long. That's a selfie right there with my X-T2. See, you can take selfies too. So before we actually start, let me actually explain to you one thing. All the pictures that I took, because this is the deal. I'm actually a street photographer. I don't have the time to really set up the camera, okay? I know a lot of photographers, a lot of professional photographers out there are actually recommending you to basically they recommend you to basically shoot manual all the time. There's this guy called, his name is Jerry Polin from FroNosePhoto.com, which I'm going to actually promote his website. He keeps pushing people to actually shoot, to get out of automatic and go to manual. He says he believes that people are not real photographers when you shoot in automatic or on P4 program. I completely disagree with this guy. I completely disagree with him. Maybe the kind of photography that he does allows him to basically prepare his picture. The photography that I do doesn't allow me to prepare for the picture, so I need to rely on the quickness and the camera's brain to take the picture that I want to take. Taking pictures in program is not a bad deal when you know your camera and you know the camera is gonna take that picture that you want. So for this test, for this test drive, I took my camera out and shoot everything in P4 program. Now, some pictures you're gonna see that I left them. I did in manual. Another ones I actually did, but mainly are actually in P4 program, which is not bad. I need to rely on my camera to be able to take that picture right away because it changes. There's a lot of things that changes. For instance, I'm gonna show you in this picture with the Porsche GT3 RS. because it spins around, it changes the lights constantly. It changes. Sometimes you have somebody jumps actually on top of the turntable because it's spinning around. The camera is spinning around. Sorry, the camera. The car is spinning around. There's actually hundreds of things, images happening in the background at once. So the camera's the light is changing constantly. So I need to rely on the speed and the camera itself to use its brain. It's actually programmed. P for program is programmed to actually react to different situations right away faster than you can. So I rely on this camera to do everything programmed for the first time ever. But I have to tell you one thing: all of the pictures that I took, every single one are actually taken in manual focus. Every single one is manual focus. Maybe one or two at the beginning, but then actually I was using the focus picking, which is, I don't know how I live without it. Okay, this camera, it has a very nice and smooth. I don't know if you can see it. Well, we have to go back here. They have actually a very smooth focus ring. So I was able to actually focus pick every single picture that I was able to take, and I have no idea how I was able to actually live without it. When I discovered it, not like I discovered it because it's not new to me, but I actually discovered it like firsthand finally. So I was starting to use it, and I was like, holy shit, this is phenomenal. I can actually focus very, very quick. I learned how to focus manually. I can imagine myself actually doing automatic focus anymore with the manual focus in focus pick. I loved it. I think I want to go back all the time to it. The good thing is basically you can set up the ring to focus either to the left or to the right. That depends how you used to actually do it with Canon, which actually spins the other way, and Nikon lenses actually goes the other way. So I can do actually whatever I want because you can set it up spin this way or this way. So that's actually great. So I was actually using basically doing all of my manual focus with the focus picking, it was brilliant because you can see exactly where you're focusing right away, which is actually great. I think it's great. All right, never mind. So yeah, so all the pictures are taken with P for program and manual focus with focus picking. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see them from the beginning. I don't think actually my. Let me see if I goes no. Yeah, okay, it goes. The last one is the first one technically. So I went to the show. Of course, the first picture is the worst. I have to get it out of the way. It's like the first kiss. You have to get it out of the way. When you go to a date, the first kiss is always the worst. Okay, you fail drastically as much as you want to be like, oh yeah, it was the best. No, get it out of the way. First kiss, get out of the way. The second one, as you can see, actually, I was trying to draw the attention with the lines, the Fiat with the Fiat car. Unfortunately, at that time, the car wasn't facing the way that I wanted, but I got it out of the way. That's always the first picture I'm trying to do, to get it out of the way. So once actually you just put your camera, or at least I put my camera in my eye, and that's it, right away. The first picture is out of the way, so you just actually shooting away. I like actually that the camera focused very quick. I was pretty impressed coming from a D750 and the Canon 7D. Going to a mirrorless cameras that they say that the focus are not as quick. Well, it was fast enough for me. It was pretty quick. Sorry, let me get some of my zero. I'm thirsty. I thought it was actually pretty quick and very fast. You were able. What I like, one of the things that I like about the Fujifilm is that you can change the settings with the dial instead of actually little buttons, which I'm starting to find very, very annoying. This camera actually has a feature on the dials that it has a little clickable thing that you click it and it doesn't allow you to lock basically the dial. So if you actually if you have always locked the same settings, it is great. I had it all the time on A and then press the. I had actually everything pressed, like the. Oh, let me show you again. For instance, as you can see here, I don't want to get too close. It's a little button right there in the center, which is a clickable. I don't know if you can hear. Oh, sorry, I just punched it. So you click it and it locks the wheel. So I had the ISO locked, the the aperture, and then obviously the and the yeah, I forgot the name. Well, I had everything. Unfortunately, this actually doesn't lock. So you just put an A. I don't know. You can see. You put an A. Where is it? Right there. You put an A, and it basically chooses the. Oh my God! Today I'm gonna forget everything, and since we are live, I cannot edit myself out. So all right, whatever. So we have the aperture ring. So is that the aperture ring? Yeah, the aperture and the speed. There you go. Everything you can like everything basically. So I was able to do all of that without a problem. So once you do that, you can actually start to take pictures. Even if you set it up actually with the ISO and the speed that you want, you can lock it and go and take the picture. I am actually very shocked about how sharp the camera was comparing with the Nikon D750. Which they could be very comparable, even though the D750 was a full frame, and this one is a ACPS or a crop sensor camera. As you can see, well, I like actually that the camera chose to leave the background blur, which is good. That's actually what I was aiming for. This one I wanted. It looks kind of weird. This one I don't think. I have to apologize. My computer over there has a Samsung, a $200 Samsung monitor, which is not the sharpest or the greatest. Actually, it's pretty crappy, and it doesn't reproduce the colors as good as I want. This picture right now looks greener than it look on that one. And then it actually has a glowing effect here, which I wasn't going for it. My effect was actually to bring the center of attention right in the center where the white car is. I kind of like it because it shows actually part of the auto show. It shows the atmosphere. In here you can actually you can see Mitsubishi here, you can see Fiat, and then right across on that direction, right across is Chrysler, which if you know, Fiat owns Chrysler now. So I wanted to get a nice general view of the field. Not so sure about this guy here. Don't know what he's doing, and the flying pig over there. Yeah, but that was actually a very generic. I mean, they were actually my first pictures. So I was trying to get them out of the way because the first ones are normal. It gets you started a little bit. It's very slow starting. At least in my case, since I don't take pictures as much as I wish. So I left the first pavilion and I went to the big one, which is the main one. And first thing I see is this beautiful Lexus IS something 3 something. I apologize. I don't remember. Actually, I know the picture should have the name. Hold on a minute. Right here. Was the GT3. This is actually the 250, the 350. I don't remember because I'm very fussy with the names because they just changed actually. Lexus starting to actually like change the names as well. But this is actually this one is no process. This picture is completely unprocessed right now. This is the street version, and the blue one is obviously the race version of it, which is completely. This is actually a shell. It's not even actually the real one. Nope, I'm going ahead. Sorry. So first thing, I actually went and I saw this car, very shiny blue. It's like almost chrome blue, and then it has this carbon fiber accents, which in the real race car is actually real carbon fiber. But in this case, it's not. It's a sticker. It's a sticker. But I mean, in this case, you can see actually how sharp and how good and how how well it produces actually the colors. I was pretty impressed actually. I wasn't One thing I never liked about the Nikon D750 or Nikons for this matter is that Nikon actually has this very it has a very cold tone versus the Canon. Canon has actually a little bit more natural, more warm tones versus my the Canon, the Nikon that I was using. The Nikon, the Fujifilm has actually, it's more in between both of them, but it goes more towards. Oh, there it is the RCF GT3. There you go. I forgot the name. I'm sorry. Good thing I take pictures so I can remember this stuff. The Fujifilm X-T2 has actually a warmer feel. I have to actually warm it up a little bit more because it's not as warm as the Canon 7D that I used to use. But still, so if you leave the pictures the way that they are, which I left, you will see a couple here that I left there. It has that feel. It definitely has that feel, like very, very coldish feel, but not as much as the Nikon. But I mean, overall, I was very, very impressed with the sharpness. This picture I took because I wanted to have actually a nice, this basically how wide the body kit is, how square it is, but it's also meant to actually cut through the wind. And then I wanted to leave this guy taking a picture of the car with the sign here. You don't see the car normally. I don't like to take pictures generally of the car. I like to take pictures of all the details of the cars. Because in this case, for instance, the picture is completely untouched. This is actually how the camera decided to take the picture. It's completely untouched. I didn't touch it at all. It has not been edited. I don't think. I don't remember because I don't think I like the picture that much anyway. Either way, but I mean, you can see how huge that wing is and how wide it is compared actually with the street counterpart. The rest is pretty much the same. The rear end is the same. The lights are the same, which actually perfectly workable lights, as you can see on this case. You can see in which areas I focus because it's right around here. But this center here is actually out of focus a little bit because I was around this range here. Let's move on to the next one. So I don't think they're gonna be ordered. I really like how sharp the pictures were. Actually, I was very, very impressed in general because everybody says that ACPS cameras are not as sharp as full frame, but this camera, the Fujifilm X-T2 has they give actually really good reviews about making sure that everything is okay. Really good reviews about the how sharp the camera is compared. Actually, thinking that it's an crop sensor camera versus the I really love this picture. The color is incredible. I exaggerated the colors a little bit. I mean, I'm not a big fan of photoshopping a lot. I use Lightroom, as you can see. I'm not a big fan of basically not giving you the real thing. I mean, I'm trying not to exaggerate reality too much. When I go to black and white for a reason, when I go to colors for another reason. But I try not to. This car is very, very green. I have to say, I toned a little bit. You know, I give it a little bit. I increase the color a little bit. What's it called? I forgot the name. Okay, I just enhanced the pictures a little bit. It's not I mean, it looks very, very sharp, very, 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 very soft because this car is not 100%. What's it called? Wow. I definitely can English today. Oh my God. It's not 100. The car is not 100% shiny. It's not glassy like you normally see, like a very shiny glassy paint. This one has actually this almost flat feel, but not quite there. This is actually paint. Is not a sticker. There you go. This is actually the same car basically, but just not the same color. As you can see here, this one is 10 times shinier. This actually, I focus mainly on the grill because I was going for it. As you can see here, this is perfectly in focus, and then the rest is a little bit out of focus, as you can see in this picture. Compared with this one, which is basically mostly the hood and a little bit of the lights. This one is a little bit more the front than anything else, because I wanted to give actually a nice effect of blurriness going towards the end of the hood. So it was pretty good on that, because since I was doing the focus picking, I was able to know exactly, because that's what I like. I didn't have that before. You have to think, I didn't have that before with my D750 or the Canon D7 7D. So this feature for me is phenomenal. It's making me go back to. It's actually not making me go back to. It's actually making me forget about going to autofocus, because now that I know exactly where I'm focusing, it is perfect. And I learned to focus manual, so I have the quickness and I have the eye for that. You need to be trained. Let's be honest. Manual focus, you need to be trained. And if you haven't actually worked with manual focus before, it takes a while to get used to it. Mostly with the rings, because going from Canon to Nikon, the ring goes completely different. This BMW, nothing special, but I wanted to see how it would reproduce the colors. It was a little bit soft, mostly on the blue area. Again, this is actually a very contrasted picture in between the light and the dark. So, of course, cameras are gonna get a little bit confused there. This blue, which is actually a very light blue, it actually it toned it down a little bit. Even though actually on Lightroom I was trying to bring the colors up a little bit. But if I was doing that, I was mainly this one. It would make this one a little bit darker, so I tried to keep it that way. I really like this one. This car is the M2. It's a fairly inexpensive BMW. I like the M1 and the M3 and the M2. The M3 especially, but the M2 is actually like the cheaper version. As you can see, these colors are phenomenal. I have another picture of the front. I don't know if I have it here right now, but the dual exhaust, they match actually the line. Is another the line goes around, and it basically ends up on the front of the car. Again, I was trying to see the colors, and it did pretty good job, very, very good. And we're going this way. There you go. That's the front. And you can see the door open here, and the lines actually goes around, and it's right on the underneath of the grill. And again, this is actually one of my favorite shots that I can take from cars. Don't ask me why. It's I like to have the car face to face. I like that feel, the hood going and the roundness. I like how this when you see a car, you try to see actually the face first, and that's the face. As you can see right here, that's actually the M4, I believe, or the M3. I think no, that's the I don't remember. I know it's actually an M6 over there, so on the M4, it was right here. I don't know. So that has to be the M3 right there, the blue one. But the first thing that you see normally in a car is the face. When you walk around a car, you don't go actually and see it sideways. You go to see the very, very front. This actually is the face of the entire car. This is actually what marks the personality of the car. So to me, actually, a photograph right on top of it is actually show you face to face what the car looks like. And giving it a little bit of depth, which actually towards the end is starting to get a little bit faded, a little bit, what's it called, the bokeh or bokeh. I don't know how people pronounce it. Bokeh is bokeh, but it's because it's Japanese, it's pronounced the same way as the spell. But I kind of like actually how it fades away. And the main focus was actually here, as you can see. This area is a little bit out of focus. That was my choice. Again, it's not the camera. That was my choice. Remember that I was choosing to autofocus, manually focus all the time. Unfortunately, these cars are so beat up that you can see fingerprints. As much as I was trying to eliminate that effect of the fingerprints and everything, unfortunately, it's nothing you can do, because there's constantly. I'm actually one of those assholes that goes around the car shows, and I have to feel the car. I like to feel the lines, mostly on the front, and then when I walk on the side, I try to go around feeling the car. I am that kind of guy. I saw actually people looking at me like, "What are you doing?" and I go around, I go across the hood, and I go like this. I definitely go like this, and I feel all the bumps, all the lines that goes to it. I like to feel the cars, not just looking at them, but also feeling the cars. Making sure that everything is okay. Nobody wants to talk to me. That's all good. That's not a big deal. The BMW M2. Let's keep moving on. This was actually a little bit closer than I wanted to take. This was the M6, I believe. Beautiful yellow color. It was more on the gold area than the yellow orangey, but after processing the picture, it went more towards the the orange area. But it reproduced the colors very nicely with the blue, the whites, and the yellow. Mostly on this section here, which is actually a little bit lighter than here. But I wanted to see how it will actually perform when it comes to blur the background and leave the center, which I was aiming for the center with the BMW logo. And as you can see a little bit more here, that actually I don't think it's too bad. I think it's beautiful. I had a Carl Zeiss lens for my Canon 7D. That was, everything was melting. It was beautiful lens. I forgot. This is an 1655 f2.8. It's one of the best lenses. Actually, the lens itself costs almost as much as the camera itself. I'm not gonna talk about prices because I don't like it. When it was too expensive, it sounds like I'm actually bragging, but I'm not gonna talk. When it's actually cheap, I don't care. When it's like over $500, I prefer not to talk about it. But this lens was actually really good. I figure, since this might be the lens that are gonna be stuck for a while, maybe for a year or two. So I figure might as well to actually go all out, expend the money on the lens, and at least I will have good quality pictures and a good quality glass on front of the Fujifilm X-T2. So it wasn't actually the kit. Fujifilm makes phenomenal lenses overall. It has a really good reputation for making really good glass. So I went with one of the best glass out there, and I'm happy I did. I'm happy. I am very happy. So yeah, I think actually the background is perfectly. I like what I see. I don't think is the Nikon D750 didn't have a really good sharp lens. It was everything that I needed for a while, but the blurriness, it wasn't as good as that's my name right there. No, that's not my name. My name is not the Vivar. Anyway, unfortunately, you can see a couple dots on it. Not my fault. If it was me, trust me, I will clean every single car before I take the picture. The Acura, this is actually the NSX race car. This is also the GT3 version, I believe. This is it was actually, the carpet was great, and the car wasn't 100% white, but it was almost white. It was white and gray, as you can see here, and then it had a little not. This is not actually editing, or the camera didn't take a good job. This is an orange, very light orange line. Which you will think, oh my god, the picture actually screw up. No. It's a natural color that came with it. You can see the red is actually normal red. And the same thing here, that orange is from the lights above. It's like the colors are normal, like you can see here. So I'm not gonna blame actually the camera for the how this orange actually doesn't look 100% orange. Again, I like to incorporate people in the backgrounds. A lot of times I like to see, because it gives you a sense of the dimension and how big or small the car can be compared with people. And I like actually to give actually a human factor into what a machine may look like. I was trying to pull actually the shadows because I like the carbon fiber, so you can see the detail of the carbon fiber as you can see in this one. I don't remember this carbon fiber to be real as well, but we'll see actual carbon fiber later on in different pictures. I don't have that many pictures, but you will see them. Let me see. Yep, well, never mind. Let's keep moving forward. It's not straight, which I thought I left it straight. Okay, never mind. Alright, so in this one, I obviously I wanted to have actually more depth of field. I wanted to have everything more in focus, but mainly actually the not the background, but the ground itself. I wanted to have actually the reflections of the lights above to show how shiny it is, and the reflections of the car and the lady. Plus, of course, the background. It was just beautiful. It's one of those pictures that you just basically take a few because the lady is moving around. It's also a turntable. I don't think it was turning at that point. And also because this is that's actually a TV, it was a screen. So it keeps changing images constantly. So you have to be very careful. That's why you need to rely on your camera to take pictures on the fly. Because if you try to actually do it manually, in the last second, it changes to something darker, and it changes your settings completely. That's why I encourage people to use program, especially with pictures that you need to take quick and fast, and you need to actually you need to rely on your camera. That's what I keep saying. You need to rely on your camera to take pictures quicker than you can. Like I say in the beginning, this Jared Polin keeps yelling at people, telling them to get off automatic and get off program and go to manual. I keep encouraging people to go to program because this is not just actually a good way to learn how your camera is taking pictures. You get to learn how your camera is taking pictures and to see how it reacts to. You can trust your camera afterwards, and also because that's. Why not? I mean, you need to rely on the camera to take pictures faster than you can. And once you get to know your camera, that's it. You just trust it. It will do whatever you want. And trust me too, even in program, you can still change the settings of the program. So that will never be unless actually you go fully automatic. But don't go automatic, go to program because you can change it right away. So I needed to rely on the camera. In this case, it did really, really good because it did what I wanted. Everything is actually in focus. As you can see, the ground is in focus. You can see every single line. You can see every single detail, everything on the ground. As you can see the lady, you can see her face very nicely. Of course, she's moving. Unfortunately, the shutter speed was very slow, so you can see the hand moving a little bit. So the guys are moving too. So it's not 100%. It's not 100% sharp, but the car is because the car wasn't moving. I don't think the car was moving, but it's kind of funny how they do the presentations and actually they still allow people to go inside the car. But there wasn't actually a stage. That was actually part of the booth. So you can just go on top and just get inside the car. Normally, they actually have cars on the stage, and then they're doing the presentation, and you cannot go on the stage. But in this case, they're doing the presentation, plus you can go on inside the car, which is brilliant, because while they are talking about the car, you can get inside the car and see firsthand what she's talking about. Anyway, so the picture, yeah, I rely on my camera to take this picture, and it did what it was supposed to do. The Fujifilm, the X-T2, it performed how it's supposed to do. This one is completely untouched. The only thing is actually the angle. I changed the angle a little bit. The one that I was trying to work on was this one. As you can see, this one. Actually, no, that I think I reset it. Yeah, because that lady was not supposed to be there. Damn, that's a big butt. I cannot zoom in more. Damn it, because it's a huge butt. Anyway, so as you can see, this actually is 100% how the camera wanted to take the picture. My angle wasn't good. I apologize. Again, it's one of those things that you actually just wait in. You take like 5, 6, 7 different pictures because every time that you take a picture, the background changes. This has a circular screen that was going around the stage. Do you walk underneath, and then on the stage you could walk on top of the yeah, you could walk on. No, this is actually not a walkable stage. Sorry. As you can see here, the lady is actually up high. You cannot walk on top of that one, so you just have to take pictures from down below, which is not a big deal because I was trying to get actually this. This is. Don't remember what car this is. I don't have the rear picture, so, but The pictures are also, I forgot to mention, I took all the pictures in RAW, so which is funny because none of my computers takes actually this RAW file, but Lightroom does. So I had to actually bring my pictures to Lightroom and then bring them to one of my one of my folders. It's unbelievable. I can't believe actually my computer doesn't recognize this file. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Anyway, so as you can see, it's more towards the bluish area. There's still warmer tones than my Nikon D750. Is still not as warm as the Canon with the 7D. Canon's has to be warmer tones. I really like how the colors reproduce better with Canon, but I have to say it's really good. The Fujifilm X-T2 was pretty good, as you can see in this picture. The colors are reproduced exactly how you will see them. The whites to me are living more in the bluish area or the cold area. In this situation, it could be because maybe the screen was reflecting, it's very blue, it's very grayish, so maybe it was actually reflecting the lights or deflecting the lights all over the place to make the car basically look blue. But then in Lightroom, you were able to do this, which it looks brilliant. I was able to eliminate the bluish a little bit to make it actually warmer with a little bit of increase the warming tones, and then make it actually increase the light a little bit front, and I think it looks really, really nice. I increase also the sharpness. Most of the pictures I increase the sharpness because I like very sharp pictures, mostly when it comes to taking pictures of cars, because I like the details that you can see on the grills, the details on the headlights. It's just, I like when it's actually perfectly sharp. So it went from this to this, and you can see there's not much of a difference. It's good, but this one is better. But again, this one is processed, so it's not a big deal. All right, this is my thing about black and white photography. I'm a huge fan of black and white. I normally do black and white photography most of the times. But this is why I do mostly black and white. When the color is not telling me the story, when the color is not telling me anything, is when I go to black and white. In this case, I was going to color because I wanted to have these pinks. I wanted to have how colorful the entire showroom is. As you can see, the neons on the back. You can see actually this pinkish here, the brownish, and all that stuff. Even though the car is actually white, and that's what it is. You just see the car. But I wanted to keep actually the feel of the auto show. Like in this case. Same thing here. That's the color. It tells you the story. Mainly all pink, and then the black, and then the blue. It pops up, and it's super shiny. And this one, I was thinking about actually to leave it in black and white, but I was gonna lose actually the detail here with the Doritos things, wherever it is, and then the orange lines and all, and then the blue jeans, of course, because it kind of like it ties things together. So as you can see on this one, of course, it has to be in color. This one has to be in color. This one has to be in color. This one was in black and white because the car was actually dark gray. So I was like, it's not gonna kill it. It's not gonna do anything, and I think it's gonna look 10 times better in black and white. Of course, it has to be in color. I mean, that's just, and you can see how, it's a little bit orange, the brown area in this section here, but it's actually more actually grayish. It wasn't 100% black. But it's actually, because of the lights, it reflects in a different tone. It was more like orangey, but it still looks pretty nice. Same thing with this one, all blue. It has to be black, color all the way. All the pictures have to be in color. This could be actually in black and white, but I wanted to have actually these orangey tones there. Anyway, let's go back. We are back to Cadillac. There you go. That's the CTS-V. Which one of my best friends, Crush, from our RTA Motorsports, actually he drives one of the older versions. I prefer the ATS V. The CTS V, I don't like the rear view of the car too much, but the front, it just looks phenomenal. So I wanted to take a picture of the grille, real carbon fiber. You can see the detail on the carbon fiber, very, very sharp, very, very sharp. Everything is actually, it was everything in focus in this one. Well, a little bit. But yeah, again, this is one of those pictures that you just have to take it. You cannot walk around or away from it. I do it every year, and this is one of my favorite cars as well. So, well, okay, the Porsche. This is the GT3 RS, one of my favorite cars of all time. This is the Cayman, so that doesn't count. But I wanted to keep it actually because it's just a contrast of the colors. This was actually a very hard situation for the camera, for the Fujifilm X-T2. Simple reason was because, well, the light was actually very, very, very hard. It was a couple. It was very okay. The lights were actually completely on top, and it was producing very strong shadows. As you can see here, the lights are coming basically from behind me, almost from behind me, because the shadow is not completely underneath of the car. It's kind of like in an angle. It goes inside underneath of the car. So when it was turning towards the towards the side, when it was almost sideways, like you're gonna see it here, you see how strong these shadows were. So it was a very hard situation for the car, because for the camera, because the car was spinning around the turntable. It was changing constantly images. As you can see on this one, it's not the same one anymore. So it was changing the light constantly. So you're taking pictures, and if you rely on your skills, let's say on your skills, your photography skills, to change the settings on the fly, eventually you have to repeat the picture, or you fail taking the picture, because it keeps changing constantly. The light on the background is gonna change constantly in front of you, so you need to change constantly the settings. So that's why you need to rely on your camera. On the program, to basically rely on the camera to do all this on the fly. Beautiful picture too. The colors were really nice. I think the color on the I went a little bit more red than it normally is. This car is almost red orangey, but you can see more towards the center on the sides, because the light was it was very, very hard on this car. It doesn't look like that. I was trying to bring the shadows a little bit so you can see the brakes inside. It was just perfect. And then of course the blue is on this. It was just, I thought it was a really, really good shot. I eliminated, actually it was a sign here. I erased it. I took it off. Same thing here. It was a couple, like, I don't know what it was. I don't remember. And then this one, I wanted to keep it a little bit more contrasty. Less detail on the paint job. I actually smoothing. I tried to take actually the paint job and make it a little bit more smooth, to make because Porsche, the 911s has very smooth lines, beautiful, especially actually at the end. They're very wide, it has actually the shape of a woman. That's why actually a lot of men likes this. I personally like it because it has the shape of a woman. Very, very smooth, very, very interesting, very suggestive lines. And I was trying to keep it very smooth with less detail, because I didn't need that much detail. You can see in this case, there's no carbon fiber. There is the car doesn't have actually freckles or sparkles on the paint job, so I decided to leave it the way it was. Not the way it was, but to make it actually, with softer lines. So it actually came out really nice, very, very nice. It's not 100% straight, as you can see the lines here. I apologize. Let's move on. That's a selfie. As you can see, it works very nice. For some reason, it decided to focus mostly on my hair. The rest is actually out of focus. So it's not a good camera for selfies. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. Well, I took it pretty quick because I was holding it like this, so I was like very shaky. I was like, ugh. It's a fairly heavy camera. I mean, let me show you something really quick. It's a fairly heavy camera. When you put actually the vertical grip or the booster pack, which increases the speed from 5 point something or 3 point something to 8 point something frames per second. So this is actually how it looks without it, as you can see. It's a very fairly small camera. Well, it's a very small camera, to tell you the truth. This is how it looks without a lens. But this lens is actually huge. It's huge and very heavy. It's actually heavier than I thought it was going to be, to tell you the truth, which I was very surprised. I was very surprised how heavy the lens is. So if you're looking for something light, yeah, the camera itself is fairly light. If you get the kit lens, it's probably going to be better than any DSLR. It's going to be way better than any DSLR. But then if you go with the with this lens, it's going to starting to get a little bit in the heavier side. Still lighter than my D750 with the lens that I had, which it was a really big lens, really big. And then with the vertical grip, as you can see, it's not that big, but it's big enough. Again, it's adding actually 2 more batteries on the side, but with the battery grip, you can see how easy and quick it is. There you go. Once it's in. Sorry. There you go, it's in. And as you can see, it has all the functions that you need here. They're actually already here, so you can take the pictures vertical. And also you have the joystick here for the focus point that you want to actually choose, and then all the settings, and then the booster thingy here, so you can boost the pictures. I have it actually on normal. I didn't need to actually take fast pictures, moving subjects yet. You can also change your settings here on the wheel, as you can see there, for continuous shoot and all that stuff. So we're gonna leave it right there. All right, so let's go back to. So okay, we're gonna forget about that one. All right, so we have a nice little Subaru here. This is actually an old Subaru. I don't remember the name. It has, I don't remember the name, but that's actually a very cute little car. I figured to take a picture because I knew this was going to be 100% black and white. But I wanted to show how round it is in this angle, which it was actually the 60 millimeter. How round this and how much you can get very close and take actually a 60 millimeter with 60 millimeters, and it's still very close and very good. Most of the pictures that I take with from the hood, from the front of the hood, are in 16 millimeters. Sometimes I actually zoom in a little bit. Depends how much space I have on the display or the booth. But this is a beautiful car. I mean, probably like, oh, but it's old. No, it's a beautiful car. Very sharp, very sharp. This was all white. The background was also white. I didn't need to make it actually leave it in color. It was completely unnecessary. But you can see that from here down it's starting to actually fade a little bit. So I was focusing mainly here in this area, a little bit on the mirrors too, but mainly here. So you can see how sharp it is. Again, I have to remind you, just in case you're watching this video after the broadcast, I was taking the video, these pictures with manual focus. With the focus picking. The focus picking is actually, it changes, all the lines actually comes in my screen red. You can change the color too, by the way. The focus pick actually, you can see all the lines, vertical lines, every line you can see is actually comes in red. So when you move the focus ring, the lines actually moves either this way or this way, and that means in which area you're actually focused. So in this area here, is actually completely red. All the lines are red, and these ones weren't. That means that this was going to be completely out of focus, and then progressively you're starting to see the yellow lines, the red lines appear until in this part, or this part here, right? Because you can see how many lines there are. Everything is going to be completely red. Every single line that goes across is going to be completely red. You can change, it's actually one of the features, you can change the color that you want. You can do any color. But I left it in red because it didn't bother me, since I'm not used to any colors. I went with it. So I wanted to leave also the background here because it says 50th anniversary since 1968. So you can see actually basically the progress of Subaru here, or it's actually pronounced Subaru. No joke. But very nice and sharp. As you can see, I was trying to eliminate also the noise, just to make it look, because also the ISO was in Aromatic, so sometimes it was a little bit noisy, but I didn't find too much. I didn't find actually the noise too annoying, at least to me. And I like high grains on my old film, so I like actually to emulate the grain in my photographs today with digital photography. All right, if nothing is going on, nothing says anything. Okay, no questions. We keep going with our live. As you can see, I was focusing mainly here in between the grill and the symbol, which is actually made out of plastic, I believe. I'm not really sure right now because I didn't have the chance or the opportunity to touch it. It's a glass, as you can see, it's a glass that goes around, so you cannot get too close to it. But to me, it looked like actually like cheap plastic, to tell you the truth. But again, it's an old car, it's an old company now, 50 years, 50th anniversary, which is, it's not that old, to tell you the truth. I'm actually 44, so I'm almost the same age as Subaru. Why did I leave this one in color and not black and white? There's no color here, to tell you the truth. But I just wanted to show actually the golden. Golden is more like what is it called? It's brownish. It's not gold, but it's more like a brownish, like a. Fuck, I forgot. See, today is not my day to remember names. You can see actually little details here, like these little dots and these little lines here. Some of the paint underneath, right in between on the grill here, and I mean you can see that somebody was driving this car. And then I was leaving the color basically for this. I have another picture where it's focused on the mainly here, the light and the mirror, but I like this one better. This one came in the yellow area because the car wasn't 100% white. I don't remember it being white, but I left it actually in the yellow area because it was too. I like it. It's actually warmer tones. This one was more the brownish, but this is actually more yellowish. It's more like greenish. Sorry. So this, I like this picture. I know it's a really weird angle. First of all, I wanted to show actually the shape of the car itself, the redness of how cool that tire is, and then also the age for the Honda. I like actually the to leave this on too. I can perfectly just mask it and make it darker, so it will just really. It will basically take it away, but I figured just to leave it there. That wasn't a problem for me. So I cannot like it because it really tells you are in a car show. But also I like this picture. I have like five or four pictures from this angle. But I left this one because I like these kids here because these are the kind of people that will be basically driving this car. So I left it there because it tells the story. It tells you that this car is oriented for this audience, and this audience is coming to the car, is attracting that people. This is actually the Honda Civic Type R, over 300 horsepower, front-wheel drive. It's gonna be a turbo. I believe it's gonna be a turbo in this car, and they already have really good reviews. They put it actually against the Focus RS, and they said they're both really good. Of course, the Focus RS wins because it's all-wheel drive. There's gonna be like around $34,000. Don't scare me, you stupid cat! Damn it. Let me see. Everything okay? Everything all right? We keep going. So this car is going to be phenomenal. Actually, I was surprised. I liked it because I like hatchback. So this car, unfortunately, I don't have a picture here. I have it there, the full car, because, I personally like to see the full car as well. But it looks very, very sharp. The wind, as you can see, is like super exaggerated. It's like almost silly. It looks like a video game. And basically, as you can see, it goes perfectly with the person behind, and it's not completely sharp. I believe that was my fault. The speed of the shot was very, very slow, I believe. So I moved a little bit in the last second, but I mean it's still pretty sharp. Not the camera's fault, my fault. Once again, my favorite shot is one of those on your face kind of picture that I like. I think this is becoming my signature photo every time I go to the car shows. I like taking pictures from front top view. It's on your face kind of, because this this is what represents the rest of the car. I know you don't see the cars like this all the time, but this is the face of the car. The glass is gonna look like glass anywhere, like the windshield is gonna look like windshield no matter where you go. The profile is gonna look like the profile, but still, the front is what is gonna tell you the rest, how the car is gonna look like. This picture on the original is less. The blue is less intense. It's pretty good blue. I was trying to leave it as original as I could. I didn't touch the reds at all. The only thing I touched is actually the symbol, because it was under the shadow. Even though I brought the shadows a little bit, I didn't want to bring the shadows too much because I wanted to keep this area here separated from the grill, so it gives you that depth. It just gives you that. It escalates down. You know what I mean? I want to have actually very strong lines, and I left it the way actually the camera did. But I brought actually this up a little bit. As you can see, there's no shadow on it. Because I wanted to see it. It was there. I mean, you can see it, but it cuts a little bit. Then it's just been faded into a shadow, and I didn't want to actually leave it behind. I wanted to actually make it pop, and it's right there. So Lightroom was actually allowing me to do that, and because I was shooting in RAW and no JPEG, I was able to, because RAW is a little bit more flexible. Again, I'm not so sure why my computers don't recognize and are not comparable with the files. I have to investigate. I want to. I think one thing I forgot to do, and maybe it could be actually the problem. I didn't reformat the memory cards, so maybe that was the problem. This memory cards came from the Nikon D750, and I put them right away into the Fujifilm X-T2. So maybe that was the problem. Maybe I need to reformat, and then maybe the computers will recognize the file. But anyway, it came really nice. I was trying to eliminate the details a little bit. It came really nicely. The details on the because this is actually flat black. It's a sticker. It's no paint, obviously, but you can see how flat it is versus the shininess or the glassiness of the hood. And as you can see, I was focusing mainly in this area here, and this. No, I think I was focusing mainly here. Yeah, I think I was. I don't remember right now. I apologize. I wish I knew. But, I mean, obviously, the whole thing is actually in focus. So I think it gave, actually, the camera itself went with a nice depth of field. Again, the camera performed the way it was supposed to. Really, really nice. Like, next to it, it was the Focus RS. As you can see, completely different colors. Completely different tone, as you can see. It's not as bright as this one is, so I need to rely on the camera to take the picture and keep going. So again, that's why I choose for this kind of photography to do it in P4 program, because I need to rely on the camera to do it, because as you can see here, that was the RS. I looked up when I took this picture, nobody was around. I went, approached, take the picture, because there's a lot of people in these car shows taking pictures of it. So I approached, took the picture, and move on, because you need to keep moving on around the car because you keep taking pictures all the time. The only thing I didn't realize when I took the picture is this area here, because right on top behind was a screen, also goes around the entire booth, that was actually projecting images and colors and patterns. Unfortunately, I didn't realize it. I don't like it. I should have waited until something was either white or maybe black and take the picture then. As you can see, nobody was cleaning the car for a while, so it's a little bit dusty from the people walking around and touching it, as you can see here. These cars actually clean constantly. There's actually people gets paid to walk around with this dust mop and dust them and then spray and clean them. They are not paid by the manufacturers. They're getting paid by the people who basically the convention center. Again, one of these one of these moments that you need to rely on your camera settings, default settings, because coming from this car to this car was actually difficult, because if you try to take the picture on the fly, you have to change settings on the fly, and with these other people behind you taking the same pictures that you have to try to be quick. So very distinctive, and also the lights change a little bit. Even though the lights are, as you can see, they are not the same, but unfortunately they don't take care of the lights specifically for that specific car. Mainly when they're actually like close to each other. So one car may be darker than the other one. This car, for instance, the RS was closer to the screen than this one was. So the lights were changing constantly. But again, the camera did what it's supposed to do in P. So that's why I rely on program. Another one of those on your face kind of. And this one I chose to go a little bit lower, different angle. I liked it. I have another one. It's actually more on top, but I kind of like wanted to actually break. This was actually breaking the entire. This section wasn't breaking the entire. I don't know the rhythm of the car. As you can see, it goes down and then it breaks into the light and then it keeps going down. When I was taking the picture from above, this corner here was actually matching this corner here, so it was, and then you could see the grill as much because it was like this narrow. From that angle it's very narrow, so I actually went practically, I just like crouch a little bit, and that was perfect for me. Another really good picture. The original one wasn't as yellow. It was more towards this yellow than this because I needed to actually bring the shadows and the contrast and everything. It actually made it a little bit darker, mostly in the darker areas. But it's a very bright car. I have to say, very bright car. The SRT Challenger. Charger. Anyway, very good car. I love it. I love the lines. Again, I was trying to eliminate a little bit of the detail. This is no real carbon fiber, so I didn't need to have it completely sharp. So I unsharpened it a little bit, as you can see here. I like sharp pictures. It's still sharp. I normally try to sharp every single picture, to tell you the truth. Somebody was trying to rip actually the sticker. As you can see, the detail, it took the detail very nicely. Somebody was trying to take the sticker off, which is pretty mean. Let's keep moving on. That's actually the Dutch Viper, the CR something. I don't remember right now. But as you can see, this actually is real carbon fiber, so I left actually the detail on it. I'm surprised the front splitter is no real carbon fiber, but I just noticed that, to tell you the truth. I was focused actually mainly here, but I mean, as you can see, the camera chose actually to take everything, because everything, the light was really flat on this car, as you can see, very flat. It looked like almost like flash. Didn't bring flash with me, and I had a little tiny flash that came with the camera, but I didn't bring it that day with me. But I was focused mostly actually here because I wanted to actually bring the detail on the hood scoops, because it breaks actually the lines really nice, and it pops up and it goes actually kind of like matches the shape of the lights as well, as you can see. And I was just trying to keep it smooth, and then it was just beautiful. And again, the camera performed the way it was supposed to, not a single hiccup. With Canon and Nikons, I have to say, from time to time I have a couple pictures that it wasn't there. In terms of colors and tones, sometimes it was mostly actually the Canon 7D. Sometimes I was having a couple shots. I was like, why he was taking a picture like that? Okay, so this is the ZL1. This is the Camaro ZL1, as you can see. It's supposed to be like a brutal fast car. I mean, the lines are incredible. I really liked it. I left it in black and white because technically there was no color. There was no point to get it actually in color, to tell you the truth, because it was gonna get lost, all of the details and everything. So mainly this part here, I loved actually that ground, and the ground actually was changing a little bit. Depending on the lights above, it was changing a little bit the colors, so I didn't want to actually take that away from the black and white car. Again, I was focusing mainly on the grills. I tried to go mainly on the grill, the detail of the grill, but of course the camera actually starting, it decided to do more depth of field. What time is it? 7:20. All right, we keep going. Let's see what else. Well, we don't have too much. I don't want to actually go too crazy here. But yeah, you can see actually the carbon fiber detail, and then this one was a sticker, flat black, and then the car was actually it was actually gloss. It wasn't actually like flat. And then the details here are phenomenal, very very nicely and sharp. This is actually one of my favorite shots. It's always one of my favorite pictures. I chose actually this angle instead of panoramic because I wanted to keep this in the picture. The original picture had actually the Nissan logo, but I turned it down a little bit. I crop a little bit. So I kind of like it. It was another one with a kid right here when I actually took the picture when he's turning around to look at him. And he was actually wearing a red sweater as well, so I was breaking the lines of the yellow here. But I wanted to take this picture because I wanted actually the Nissan GTR, the 370Z, and the colors here to isolate the main thing here, which is actually this one. Of course, when you get closer, it loses the detail a little bit. Obviously, because I also crop a little bit, so it's already taking that away. But this is also, it was also taking manual with the focus picking, it was perfect because I was able to see exactly where I was with so much details around. I was able to actually know exactly where I was focusing, and I was right there. Doesn't look like it because cropping the picture, it was actually I was starting to lose the detail a little bit because of the slow shutter speed. I was a little bit shaky, I guess. I'm not really sure what I did, but yeah. So there it is. I think that's the last one, right? Right. Oh look, I have the details here. Oh, hello. I didn't know that. So there you go. Fujifilm 32. I don't know what it says. 342. No. Millimeters. Oh, ISO 200. Oh, there you go. So it tells me. You see. Huh, I guess the ISO was like to 200. Yeah, so you can see some of the pictures have like very slow shutter speed. 1/40th of a second, which it will actually, you can see the movement. But the camera was pretty good, basically when all this stuff. But that was actually pretty good. I didn't know I can do this. It gives me the information about it. Okay, so how do I get back to... I don't want to download. No. How do I go back? I close it. There you go. So that's pretty much everything I have. I don't think I have more, no? Let me see. No, that's it. Well, this is actually now on. You can see actually here. This is actually with what's it called? With Lightroom. You can see more of the details of the pictures, especially like this. You can see how sharp it is. Now, if you actually like. If you like to see the details, there is. Those actually the details. How this is actually the noise of the camera. You can see it more towards here, the darker areas. But I mean, when you're far away, you hardly see it. To tell you the truth. But so this is my. It's not a review. It's just actually it shows what I did. Okay. What's going on? It shows basically my what I did at the auto show, the New York, the 2017. Here it is, 2017 New York Auto Show with the Fujifilm X-T2. That was the first time I put the camera to the real test. That was my very first time, and I chose to actually do it all in program because I needed to see what the camera do by itself. I can take pictures myself, but I let the camera to do it by itself because yeah, it's designed to take pictures by itself. Rely on people for the program. rely on your cameras to take the pictures. If you like in my case, if you actually need to rely on the speed, and you're taking pictures like street photography, for instance, when things are changing constantly, you're not ready to take a picture actually on manual settings, because by the time that you take the picture, you lost the entire thing. So rely on P4 program. You're gonna be just fine, I promise you. Don't follow what other photographers are saying. Stay on program if you need to. And when you have the time, okay, if you have the time to take actually the picture by itself, like in nature photography or studio photography, okay, yes, take your time, put it in manual. If it's actually a flower, take a picture of the flower in manual. Just choose actually how you want the picture to look like. Don't be afraid of taking pictures by yourself, but do not be afraid of leaving your camera in program, because your camera knows how to take the pictures, and a lot of times better than the photographer. It takes actually better pictures than me sometimes. So that's it's not a review. I just wanted to show you how the X-T2 performed during my visit at the New York Auto Show. So that's pretty much everything that I have for today. I just want to thank you everybody for watching me. If you actually joined me during my live stream, if you're watching this after, well, I want to thank you everybody for joining Vivar Studios. This is Angel, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.